But if you look at the phone calls that come in from direct mail, you're often going to close at a higher percentage. Why? Because you care. You just wrote a letter. You sent that out in the mail. Did we put a business card in there? You took time to actually put a little Post-it note in there. Why are we in insurance? Cody, why did we get into insurance in the first place?
Yeah.
We're people.
Correct.
We want to go help people.
Yes.
I mean, that's the original thought.
Yeah.
Then it became a money game.
Yeah.
And we got to have money. We got to keep money coming in. And then corporate's sitting there hounding us. You're not hitting your benchmarks, your goals. We're not going to give you as much money because you suck. No. Why are we doing this?
Yeah, to help people, yeah.
We're supposed to be helping people.
What is up? Welcome back to the CA Power Player Podcast. I'm your host, Cody Askins, and today we have an amazing guest, also fellow Arkansian. I actually grew up, and my first 10 was born and grew up in Arkansas, and so I have a huge love for Arkansas. I'm definitely more of a Razorback fan than a Mizzou Tiger fan at this point, for sure.
I knew I liked you.
Yes, exactly. I'm excited for this interview with our special guest because he has something extremely unique when it comes to getting your ideal audience's attention. It may involve robots in some way that helps you sell more insurance. You're like, wait, does it sell it for me? I don't know, but you're going to find out today. So please welcome from Olde School Marketing. Also love the name, Rusty Dycus.
Thank you, sir. Good to be here. Thanks, Cody.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here too.
Yeah, brother.
We've been able to hang out a couple times. We actually met at the GHL conference.
We did,
which was awesome. By the way, a lot of fun. It's been like kindred spirits, just like hanging out, getting to know one another. You know, you have amazing, wild story. You're involved in like 972 businesses,
something like that.
It's a lot, right? Crazy successful though.
It's been good.
It's been good to have you around.
Thanks.
I enjoy getting to know you. So I appreciate you driving to
Likewise.
Springfield.
Yes, sir.
What, an hour and a half?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's an hour and a half from Berryville, close to Eureka Springs, which is a tourist trap, but a lot of fun there.
Which I was just at in Eagle Rock, just north of you for a few, and then we got a chance to see each other at
Local Flavor,
which you told us to go to, and then while we're there, we get a chance to meet, which was so cool, by the way.
Yeah, the owner of that restaurant, we actually worked together when I was a kid. So we flew these little birds that you wind up with a rubber band.
Oh,
and
that's
kind of how that whole thing started. And he bought that restaurant, and I'm like, are you nuts? But you see what it is now.
It's amazing. It's my favorite restaurant in Eureka.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you for the recommendation. My wife loved it. Also, at any point while we're hanging out today, if you would love to know more about what Olde School Marketing does, which we're going to tell you about in a little bit, you'll be able to scan the QR on the screen or text the number on the screen to get more information.
Very good.
What led you to do what you do now, where you're helping agents generate leads through the mail with robots, but there's probably a pretty interesting story that led up to what you do today.
Very good. So it starts way back when I was 10 years old, started my first company. I was selling pet rocks in Eureka Springs to the tourists, making $0.25 per rock. It was an amazing adventure.
So what's a pet rock?
What's a pet rock? So you put little googly eyes on it and a smiley face, and you paint them kind of up. You know, I'm 10 years old. The truth is I was making more money than my parents were at the age of 10. And they owned their own business, and I was investing. What's that?
How much?
I had invested about $10,000 when I was 10 and 11 years into Walmart, and that's kind of how I got my start into the investing world. And that's a whole weird story, but a lot of fun. I'm kind of a crazy guy when it comes to investing. I'm always into something from crypto to
Do you have some crypto?
Oh no, I don't own it. I mine it. I do it all. I'm on the front
dude.
end of technology and investing.
Louise.
So
you need something else to do, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what everybody says. They're like, what the heck? How do you keep up with this? In fact, my banker today was just like, how do you keep up with all this stuff? And I'm like, very simple. And it really is. It's very simple. And Allstate taught me this. I mean, life taught me it, but Allstate really did. They preached this, which was simply your team is how you grow. Without your team, you're nothing. And it really is the answer. So I'm going to circle back to your question. Yeah. And I'm going to get into the Allstate world. So I was with Caruso. It was a Christian apparel company. I did that for 23 years. I ran half the company. The owner and I are still best friends. What a great guy. And it was a lot of fun. And it was my passion until it wasn't. And then I had this itch, and I went out and I bought my way into an Allstate insurance agency, and I started slinging insurance. 4 months into it, I'm failing. And I'm like, oh no, what am I going to do? I got to act fast. I mean, I already knew the trajectory was wrong. The leads were wrong. Everything was wrong. And I just went out and I interviewed. There was about 8 other thought leaders in the insurance space in my area that have been in it for 20 to 30 years. And I went out and just talked to them. I took them to lunch. What are you doing? How is it working? And then God gave me this idea. And I sat down. I took my whole sales team, my customer service team, and we shut everything down. The phone was still on, but we weren't answering anything. We were focused. We were in the boardroom. I had my kids there. I had my wife there, and we were handwriting envelopes manually by humans. And we were sending out teaser quotes in the mail to the tune of $25,000 per month. And
wow, 25,000.
25,000 direct mail pieces that we actually did ourselves.
Where'd the idea come from? You said you met with some mentors, right? It also shows that, like, hey, when things are going well, seek counsel. You clearly did that. That shows a lot of character on your end to just seek out, like, hey, I need help. You know? I love that. You know, struggling and then asking no one.
That's crazy.
Freaking nuts.
It really is. You got to get out there on the front lines and go figure out, what are other people doing? Where did it come from? I don't really remember. I just remember saying, what if I did this? Because I knew direct mail was working for some agents, but they weren't quite doing it the way that was in my head. Then I got into this thought, which was, okay, the world today, they need to know who I am. And so, and I remember what it was like when my grandmother would send me some cash in the mail. And grandma sends me a letter. I'm going to open the dang thing because there's usually $10, $20 in there, right? So I'm like, cool. Well, let's go do that. So we sat down, we started handwriting direct mail. I started working with the USPS, figuring out how to do bulk mail. Wasn't easy, getting permits, all this kind of fun stuff. And literally, it was July of 2019, and we were failing, and I started dropping mail. I was gambling everything. I mean, every last dollar I literally sunk into direct mail. I took my 25,000 mailers per month, and by September, something magic started happening. The phone started ringing. By September, October, and November of 19, we actually got back on tier, or that's the way Allstate does things back then. And we got back on tier, and the cash was coming back in. In December, I started failing again, and I shut the company down. Allstate, I literally closed the doors the last 2 weeks of December, and I thought, okay, I'm done. This is over. I'm sitting in my couch on the chair. It is December 31st, and I'm just in tears, and I'm praying. I'm like, what am I going to do? How am I going to deal with this? My staff's all sitting there going, we have no job. They're out starting to look for a job. It's now January the 2nd, and I pick up my phone, log into the remote dial, and there are 7 people that want insurance that were on my phone message. I picked them up. We called them. We closed 6 out of 7. And I immediately jumped back onto tier. The money started rolling back in, and it was a roller coaster from then on. It was success after success. The handwritten is personalized. It's a big deal. Even today, I mean, COVID, holy smokes, everybody hunkered down in their offices and did all this stuff, and we stopped connecting with people. Today, it's more important than ever that we're personal. We're in the front lines. Amen. I mean, Cody, we're getting ready to hit the road. We're going to be on stage. We're going to be talking to people all over the world. Correct. That's personal.
Yes.
That's essential today. And so what handwritten direct mail does, it literally says, you give a crap, right? And you took the time to write this envelope. Now we're doing it for you. You're not doing it yourself. Who has time to write 25,000 mailers? Not very many people, but we get that out there. And then we do some really crazy things. So like one thing we do, almost all of our mailers now, they have a little Post-it note that is inside the envelope. And we'll say, I can help you. I can save you money. Call me, John. Very simple things. And a lot of that today is actually robotic. We use robots to write even the letter on the inside. It takes humans to attach it. You can't use robots yet. I'm working with Elon. We're going to get to that soon. And we're going to figure out how to get a robot to actually paste that on there for me. But right now, it's that's how it all started. And it has just ballooned in this whole thing. You know, I started making it. I picked up the phone. I called a couple buddies in the insurance agency, in the insurance space. And I was like, hey, this is working. You want to try it? And they gave me 5,000 mailers here, 10,000 there, 3,000 here. And I just started going. And then over time, word got out. And a lot of times my agents, when you come on board, and this is what I teach all the time, it is imperative, number one, I don't care if you're doing direct mail, you're doing digital marketing, whatever it is, consistency wins the game in the marketing space. So you've got to be consistent. For my agents that are with me, we send out mail literally every 2 days. I have $1 million agents that work with me, and they literally give me $1 million a year. And those agents, it's every day. It's a consistent pipeline. What that does is it feeds your phone. It feeds, because we're hitting an X-date methodology for the PNC world. If we're in life insurance, health insurance, it's a whole different pattern and rhythm, but you kind of get the understanding. So when you're sending the mail out every day, every other day, depending on the volumes that we're doing, your phone simply starts ringing every day.
It's an inbound call.
It's an inbound call. So
It's
a
like
lot of times
creating your own, I don't know, live transfers or inbound phone. I mean, really creating your own inbound phone calls. Yeah.
It is, and it's different. So if you're doing digital, and I've bought internet leads, I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on internet leads in the insurance space.
Yes.
I've had an Allstate agency, an independent agency,
Nice.
grew them both, sold them all off. They're gone. I'm not in the insurance space today because I'm too busy, and we're going to talk about that
Now you're
as we
servicing
go.
it. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're just servicing other people in what we do because we became masters at it. So
It's crazy.
it's been a fun ride, man.
Do you want to get into the robots yet or no?
Sure.
You teased a little bit. There was a lot of when we first met, when we first like hung out.
Yeah.
He was sharing details around how this worked, and like it was mind blowing. Honestly, too, like the scale and logistics of your old school marketing business is really impressive.
Thanks.
Like, it really is.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we started out with humans, and we have 100 and some odd people on staff that still handwrite stuff, envelopes. Stamping is automated now. We've got machines for that, and because that's a lot of money that we're trusting somebody else's stamp on there.
Yep.
But the inserting, the Post-it notes, the handwriting, we still offer all of that. Humans still are a big part of. You can't 100% replicate a human because there's inconsistencies and patterns and how it shows up. But my robots are now part of the team. They actually we're operating 2 shifts right now. We have 20 robots on staff. They're my little slaves. And they literally hold a pen and you can just watch it. I mean, it's amazing because a robot can write forwards and backwards. And so it's just constantly writing and jumping over. And so I've developed a robot that is completely different than most robots that are out there. Every letter that a human handwrites, okay? So Cody, when you sit there and you're handwriting something on a piece of paper and you write the letter R of Rusty Dycus, that R will look different the second, the third, the fourth
way
time.
different every time.
Every time. We typically...
all 4 times.
Yeah, look at that. I mean,
Crazy.
you can't do it. It's not possible. So I've trained my robots that way. So every uppercase and every lowercase, there's literally 10 different variables per letter. And so when you're looking at an envelope, I write letters for CEOs, like entire letters. It looks like a human did it. And you can replicate almost what a human does with a robot today with the right technology and programming that's in it. And so I've done away with some of the problems that come in with humans. Humans make mistakes. We screw up stuff. They thought they put the teaser quote in there, but they didn't. They wrote the handwritten Post-it note that we put on the letters, but you can't read it. With robots, we've done away with all of those inconsistencies that humans bring to the table, but humans are still responsible for different pieces of the puzzle. So there is science to it. I've mastered it. It's taken me years. I've done direct mail for 30 years. This isn't new to me. Even in the Caruso space, it was the same way. We did direct mail, we did catalogs, we did postcards. You send out direct mail, phone's gonna ring, wait and watch. It happens every time. There's very seldom that we don't ROI.
Yeah.
Direct mail in general is, it's a long play. So a lot of agents, when they come in, they're thinking, oh, it's instant phone, and it doesn't work that way.
Yep.
So the process of robots actually is longer. It takes longer to do a robot and actually handwrite the envelope than it does a human. So it actually takes more time. It's more expensive, but the detail behind it is important. So it takes 2 weeks to actually handwrite it, get it prepped. It takes 2 weeks to land wherever it's going. And we know what the algorithm is and the pace it's going to get. So just imagine this. You're getting ready to give me $10,000, let's say, okay? And we're going to launch out a $10,000 direct mail campaign, sending out to 20,000 people, don't know. And then it's out there in the field, and you haven't got a single phone call, and Rusty's getting ready to say, I need another 12 grand. And you're like, what? Yeah, no, seriously. You're going to give me 10 grand, and then I'm going to ask for another 10 grand, and you haven't got a single phone call. And on the 31 to the 60 days, you will start hearing phone calls. The phones will start trickling in, but you haven't ROI'd yet. This is a long play. The agents that come to me, they don't leave. They're with me for years.
That's awesome.
Some of them are 5 years old with me now. That's how long this company's been around, right? Yeah, 5 years. We've been around. A lot of my customers stick and they stay. The ones that don't, they leave within 3 months. If you're not in this game for 120 days, you just threw all your money in the trash. It's worthless. And there's an intangible to direct mail that a lot of people overlook. And that simply is this. Direct mail is exposure.
Yeah.
So get out there with some billboards. Make sure you got some social going on. Make sure you're running some ads on Google. You've got to keep all of this happening. I've actually integrated Facebook, Google, and YouTube into direct mail. So there are choices. We can do a handwritten direct mail piece, ship it out. We can run Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google ads to the audience that we just mailed to. So you can just imagine.
You have the list. Yeah. That's cool.
And you target them correctly. Yeah. And the whole world starts coming to you. So we work with agents all over the United States. It's a lot of fun. It's exciting from my perspective because I've almost failed. My agency was dying, and this is what saved my agency.
Then exiting. Instead of exiting through failure, you exited through success.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
And it's a much better path. I mean, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I open probably 10 companies a year, and I close 4. I lose a bunch of money, and I make a bunch of money. And it's a consistent flow.
Open 10 and close 4.
It just happened. Dude. I closed 2 just the other day. I sold 1 off, closed 1 door. It wasn't operationally functional. I opened a lumber yard.
Man, look at the amount that you're learning.
Oh, yeah.
Over the course of every year, too, though. I mean, that's also something most people struggle with is moving at a speed and making more mistakes and spending more, and you're learning so much faster versus like taking forever to learn, It's a cool approach.
I'm a high risk taker.
Yeah.
A lot of people are not. I coach.
It's like gambling, but through business, right?
I take smart risks.
Yep.
So there are gamblers that are good at what they do. They're good at their craft. I was in Vegas one time for an agency meeting when we were training, and there was this dude that was charging $10,000 to play slot machines. And he would walk through the freaking Vegas.
What?
Yeah, 10 grand. You give him 10 grand, he'll go gamble for you. And I'm not kidding, like time after time, they would hit jackpot and they would come. Yeah, it was like 20 grand. Here's 30 grand.
Dylan, you ever heard this?
No, yeah, it's a real thing.
This is crazy.
Go check it out. But that's what I do. Except on a business scale.
Yeah.
I know what slot machines to hit. I know how to do it. And the biggest part of entrepreneurship is you got to have the right partner.
Yeah.
I can't do everything. I go out and build businesses. I am a visionary. I know how to cash flow it. I know how to fund it. I am excellent at payroll and QuickBooks, and I've got the right team. I've got a payroll company. It's Power Payroll.
That you own.
Yeah, we own it. Yeah, it's cool. I've got a great partner. He's a CFO. He's a fractional CFO. He runs the back end, but what do? I bring players to the table for Power Payroll. And we do that for about 50 to 100 employees in size, where we come in, we own all of the input, everything, and it works great. We've got the second largest staffing company that actually hired us, and we're doing that for them. That's kind of the world that we're living in, that world. Cool. But yeah, we're on the front end of a lot of different things that are happening out there. It's fun.
Man, so much going on. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Also, too, you on the compare the industry average direct mail, what that looks like, what that costs, what the results typically are, stats, whatever, compared to what y'all do at Olde School.
Okay, so probably I would say industry average for a direct mail piece is 0.2, 0.3 response rates. Okay, so you send out 1,000 mailers, it's 0.2, 0.3. We will range the people that stick with us for 6 months plus. will range between 0.5 and 1%. All right. Now, what's the difference between digital marketing? So let's say you spend $50 or $150 and watch what's getting ready to happen in that world. That's getting ready to change drastically in January.
Big time.
Pricing is going to go escalate. We can't sell the same as we used to. Anyway, that's a whole different tangent.
Yep.
But if you look at the phone calls that come in from direct mail, you're often going to close at a higher percentage. Why? Because you care. You just wrote a letter. You sent that out in the mail. Did we put a business card in there? You took time to actually put a little Post-it note in there. Why are we in insurance? Cody, why did we get into insurance in the first place?
Yeah.
We're people.
Correct.
We want to go help people.
Yes.
I mean, that's the original thought.
Yeah.
Then it became a money game.
Yeah.
And we got to have money. We got to keep money coming in. And then corporate's sitting there hounding us. You're not hitting your benchmarks, your goals. We're not going to give you as much money because you suck. No. Why are we doing this?
Yeah, to help people, yeah.
We're supposed to be helping people. And so this is the same thing. So when you're doing it with this approach, of course the call ratios are going to be higher. We're targeting customers when they need it also. So like in the PNC world, I know when they're most likely going to renew.
Oh, wow.
We use a very specific algorithm. We don't go out there and just blast out direct mail. That's a horrible idea. You're going to dump a bunch of cash in the trash.
But most do, though.
Exactly. Let's say we're working on life insurance. We're hitting a very specific age demographic. And so we know what we're going at. What are you specializing in? Are you great with elders? Are you working on the young? Are you looking at middle aged? Is it black? Is it white? It doesn't matter. I can target anybody. We're data brokers. I literally have billions of records on file. I know all the scary stuff about everybody. I can get anything except your social security number. I may be able to figure that out. I don't know.
It's probably good that people can't access that. Huh?
Well, data is king. And that's really. So I thought about this. I couldn't own Olde School Marketing back in 1895.
Yeah,
it wouldn't have worked. What are you talking about?
No
you
data.
Just it's data. You've got to have the right data behind
Handwriting would have still worked great, but
it would have. Yeah. But where do you send it to? You wouldn't have to be with
digital at all.
You can't pick up your cell phone either and call somebody and get their address.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Did we know?
Did we know what?
Back in 1895 was stuff that did we have a directory of where people lived? Like, I don't know how things worked back then. You know,
well, we had remember the telegraph, and you can Morse code and stuff like that. So we were sending wire transfers. Depends on how far we go back.
Crazy.
Have you been to the Pony Express Museum in Missouri? It's amazing. But yeah, it's right here, not too far from us.
Where's it at?
North of Kansas City, St. Joseph.
Okay,
that's the original Pony Express.
Wow.
So we ran letters to houses. That's how this kind of all started. In the late 1800s, yes, we had addresses. Was it great? No. Was it slow? Yes. Could we have done this? No. So really today, even though we're old school marketing, we handwrite stuff, I use robots.
New tech.
You're mixing technology.
You're mixing the two.
And there's a science. I see a lot of people go out and try and do it themselves, and then they miss the mark. And it's like, well, I spent $50,000 and I did all this and it didn't work. Well, of course it didn't work.
Yeah.
You sent it to the wrong people. You sent it at the wrong time. You didn't send it to the right sector. You had the wrong number on the piece of paper. It wasn't personalized. There's a whole list of things that I've learned through Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
I've done all kinds of things over the last 3 decades trying to figure out how to master not just direct mail, but marketing in general. So yeah, there's a science to it. Does it ROI? Almost every time. Almost every time.
Wow.
There's exceptions. Most of it's longevity. They quit too quick. They're not consistent with money, time.
Run out of funds,
They run out of money. Yeah. Or the next gadget comes along and I'm going to get you Facebook ads or whatever is going
happens.
on.
Never.
Cody.
Never happens. Never. That's so true though. Like people, man, they bounce like crazy between idea and idea and idea and idea.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, we want innovation in our industry, but at the end of the day, agents just need to figure out what works and keep doing that.
Yes.
Keep doing it. And you shouldn't, and you don't know if something's going to work typically until you've done it 3 to 6 times. You know what I mean? Like,
Or years.
Yeah.
3 to 6 years.
Then you really know, right?
So door knocking works. In insurance today. I mean, I had a solar company. We went door to door, and that's what we did. We were knocking on the doors, and
Still works phenomenal. Actually,
it works great.
Yeah,
go do it.
99% do not want to do it.
No, it sucks.
I've
done it.
Cold knock 25, 50 doors a day.
Yeah,
you know, I used to knock. I mean, those days I knocked over 100. You know,
you do 100, you're going to get 4. I mean, that's kind of a good ratio. And the better you get at your presentation, you may get up to 8 to 10.
Yeah.
Whoa, what's that cost in marketing language? Well, the average decent leads are going to run you, what, $300 to $500?
Sure.
By the time you close it?
Yeah, probably.
And this is what a lot of people get stuck on. They're like, this costs a lot of money. I'm never going to ROI. Wait a minute. We're in the insurance game. Wait a minute. The average customer sticks with a good agent for 7 years. Wow. That's a statistical fact. We all know this.
We got paid for 7 years.
We get paid for 7 years.
Dang.
So I typically will ROI somebody that's been with me for 120 days plus. You will ROI in your first year. But then it's free money. You got 6 more years if you're good at your job, if you're taking care of them, if your heart is right. Right? You're going to take care of them. You're going to keep that customer for 7 years. It may be 6 years now, but you get my point. Correct. What if I can ROI your money in your first year and then you get free money coming in for the next 6 years? Why are we in this game? Residual income.
Yeah.
That's the game of insurance.
Big time.
Oh, but everything's on fire. There are hurricanes in Florida, tornadoes over here. My rates are bad. These are just excuses, folks.
Yeah. They are.
It's an excuse. The truth is everybody needs insurance. Here's one of my failures. So I thought my Allstate agency failed in the month of December of 2019. No. I hear this all the time. Insurance agents tell me this. Direct mail doesn't work in November, December. Don't send any direct mail. Wrong answer. Guess what? I learned the really, really hard way. I actually closed my company indoors because I thought the same way. I was mailing in November and December, and I thought I threw my money away. But all of that activity that happened in November and December came in January, and my January was double. And I saved my whole freaking company and everybody's job because I did it and I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
But everybody quits. Let me ask you a question, Cody. Do people buy homes in November?
Yeah.
Do they buy homes in December? When did they buy insurance? November and December.
Yeah.
Well, so we're not marketing to them in November, December. That's a brainchild for you.
Yeah.
What a smart idea.
Yeah.
No, they don't buy insurance. No, they do buy insurance.
100%.
And they buy it in January sometimes,
100%.
even though the mail went out in November and December.
Correct.
You're going to get it back in January and February. And there's fun stories. I had somebody call me, I don't know, this was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
They had my mailer when I had my Allstate agency. They called me 3 years later from the same dang mailer.
Shut up.
No, I'm dead serious. They're like, I forgot about it. It was in my wallet. I had one lady, it was 12 months later. They come back, they whipped out this piece of paper that I sent 12 months ago, and we wrote an insurance policy. It got stuck in my purse. Wow. It happens all the time because we know where it is.
Must be a good letter or mailer too. By the way.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's got a magic number on there. It looks good. It's what I call a teaser quote. We typically look at, so if it's in the PNC space, I'm looking at new roof, a good insurance score, and that's the number that's on the paper. There really is science to it. It's not just a random number that doesn't work. So because I do know insurance and I understand that background, I know what a life insurance quote should look like.
Yeah.
We know that you're 65 years old and we can't get you a $30 policy, right? No. But I'm going to put a nice, really pretty number on there that is possible, but you better have, good stats.
Sure.
And so we know these things. We know if you're a smoker. Why? Data. Right? How many wrecks have you had? We know that. Data. Everything's about data. It really is. And so smart direct mail, smart digital marketing.
Correct.
It's no different. We're out there marketing to the right people in the right place at the right scenario, or we're wasting all of our money. Yeah, we'll get some.
100%.
But that really is the science behind direct mail. You can do it yourself. That's how I did it.
Yeah.
You go do it yourself. You'll end up hiring me later because it really sucks.
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible. To that note, I used to send out a newsletter every month to all my clients, recipes and all this stuff. And it got to where it became so labor intensive, I didn't keep doing it.
Yeah.
I started having 500-600 clients I was doing this for every month, and it was like, this is taking me all freaking day. What am I doing?
Yes.
It was cool because it was name recognition. I'm staying in front of them, getting referrals, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
But man, it was a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
It's so much. It's so much smarter to, when you can outsource, save your time, do what you're supposed to be doing, like sell insurance, you know.
Yeah. I can run my own Google ads. Go for it.
That wouldn't
You'll be calling Cody soon later after.
Shoot, man.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it takes work.
Oh,
it takes
it's a lot of
effort.
work.
Yeah, exactly.
And talk about time.
Yeah.
All that takes time too.
It takes time to
Can you
learn.
get some quick results? Yeah, but everybody's different, and you're learning. You know? You're learning.
That's why we buy leads.
Yeah, correct.
Because we're not good at it. I tried.
Yeah.
I tried to build my own Facebook, do my own stuff. It didn't work.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. Then I hired an agency.
Yeah, exactly.
Guess what? I got leads. And I paid more for them, but who gives a crap?
Yes.
Why? Because we're making money. It's
Yes.
all ROI.
There's also been a bunch of just business and branding and marketing principles sprinkled throughout this entire interview today. You know, you know what I mean? There is.
Yeah. Well,
There
it's wisdom from hard knocks.
Yeah.
Living it, eating it, breathing it every day.
Yep. Need to be just recording you for a documentary and just, okay, here's the 6 businesses that are going well. Here's the 4 that we shot. And, you know,
I've owned restaurants, bowling. I still own a bowling alley. I have
cool.
stuff all over. I'm not scared to jump.
Bowling alley's profitable?
It is not.
Oh, okay.
I actually rent it. So another woman, she's elderly. It's kind of like her little hobby now. Go rent it. And she's paying the bills for me. So praise God. I'm
Nice.
just a landlord now.
Okay,
I
cool.
did run it for 3 or 4 years. It was horrible. I didn't like doing
It's
it.
funny. We're taking the team to Andy B's tomorrow night for a Christmas party. So
Yeah,
it's like
there you
funny.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which actually, by the time this comes out, it'll be tonight in that case. 'Cause
That's
it's Friday
bougie
night.
bowling, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Compared to in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 10 lanes. We were running leagues. You know,
Wow.
It was a real thing. We had pro bowlers in the bowling alley. It was a lot of fun.
So, just out of curiosity, what was? Is it just like what? How does someone make that business work?
How do you make a bowling alley work?
Yeah.
Well, I
Is it
tell
even
you,
possible
we're too
anymore?
late, in my opinion. The Andy B's, that's
Sure.
that's bougie bowling. That's
Yeah.
fun. It's kind of kiddie. It does work. I was
Charge
at a bowling
more.
alley.
You got all these other games. You got drinks. You got a bar. You got
It's a whole different atmosphere. But if you're in league bowling, I mean, I hate to say this, but a lot of those people are dying. It's a dying sport.
No question about it.
We don't have kids coming to bowling alleys anymore. I'm going to turn my bowling alley into something fun and new. Just wait and watch. I'll reinvigorate the building and the land. It's one of the hottest spots in Berryville, as an example.
That's cool.
It's got more visibility than any other property in town besides Walmart. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to build it into something
That's
new.
like the like that's like skating rinks.
Yeah,
you know?
same thing. Yeah.
Cool concept. I enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
loved it. You know, my sister broke her arm at a skating rink as a kid. You know, I remember I have all kind of memories, but like, I don't see a lot of young people doing that kind of stuff either now.
They don't.
You know?
I've called coaches, tried to get kids involved, and we had kid leagues, and they worked for a little while, but I'm
Also,
done.
too, you have to will those businesses into existence. You've got enough going on.
Oh,
you
I
know,
do.
Right?
Bowling, I don't care.
You a good bowler, or you just?
I was average at best.
I may need some bowling coaching before tomorrow night.
Yeah, I can teach a little bit, but
Okay.
I had the pro bowlers coaching. I still was never good at it.
Is this been? What's some of your favorite businesses along the way?
Olde School Marketing. That is my favorite.
I can see you have a big passion.
I do. I'm a real estate developer. So this year, my goal, I own Kings River Tiny Homes is one of them. I own a Fort Chaffee Holdings. So I actually own a 1/4 of a military base in Fort Smith, Arkansas. We're renovating that right now. I've got commercial buildings going in. We're launching, there's going to be about 100 residents that's actually going to live on property. So imagine Branson Landing, right? Except it's got a military feel. Elvis Presley intaked here. This is where he was. So we got museums on property. We're having all kinds of lifestyle kind of events that are going on, musicians to Veterans Day parades, car shows, antique shows. And so there's going to be a big shopping plaza that's out there. And so we're probably going to be opening that, I'd say, by the end of this year. So that's about a $25 million project right there that we're working on, renovating, getting that up and running. I have a lofty goal. I want to own 100 brand new rental properties this year that I buy and sell to myself. It's a whole new model I came up with. So I don't like working with other people and building their dreams because they don't typically know what they're doing. They don't know how much it costs. They have false thoughts. So I just quit. I'll build 3 or 4 homes next year for somebody else. My wife and I build homes. I build homes with different partners. We're going to probably build 100, 200 homes in 2025. for everything that we're doing. So,
Wow.
yeah. And then you can just imagine from a finance and taxation perspective what that actually does. Cody, we were talking about this the other night. I literally going to pay 0 taxes for 2024.
That's freaking amazing.
And I do that through real estate. So real estate development, I am an actual real estate developer, one of the few that are actually in the world. And I develop all kinds of, from commercial to residential. Right now, my playground is in Arkansas, but I also work in Branson. I'm working with some nonprofits in Connecticut. We're talking about building a car wash. I write grants. So I've got grant writers on staff.
Yep.
It's called Power Grants. And so we actually go out there and work with nonprofits. We get free money from the government. We go out there and build X, Y, and Z. We just landed one. We're putting in electric charging stations all over Northwest Arkansas. We got $1 million grant.
Wow.
Just wrote that grant. Yeah, it's a lot of cash. Well, it takes about $1 million to go do it right.
I'm sure.
Well, this is only one. I'm going to write another 15, 20 grants in 2025 for my buddy, and we're going to go build more charging stations all over Arkansas. There's a lot of free money out there. A lot of people will come to me and they're like, how do you fund my new business? I'm good at that. I've got people on staff. We literally handle financing. We help people through financing. We can go out and get SBA loans. I know how to do that. I've got companies that work with that make all those kinds of things happen. Why? Because it's hard.
Yeah.
I don't care if you've been in the business for 5 years, 10 years. It's hard. There are good times and there are bad times. Sometimes we have to fund things weird to go out there and make some dream happen. And we go get loans and financing, and we're building on a dream that's in our head. But then we go make it happen. So
that's right.
I'm an entrepreneur. I literally teach, coach, preach, live it day by day. I build homes, build commercial. I own almost everything that I buy and do now. Wow. It's wild and it's fun. Old school's my heart. That's why we're going out there together, going to do fun things for other people. But I want to help them in different ways. I want to help them go achieve their dreams. I've learned this a long time ago, and really it was Caruso that helped me understand that. By the way, it's Kerusso. They're not paying me to saying that, but they're a great Christian apparel company. But Vic taught me something, and that was simply this: go help people. Don't worry about the money. And his heart was right, and he helped me. I mean, he was my mentor dad. My business dad. He's still alive today. I love him. My dad's gone. But my mentor, my business dad was Vic.
Wow.
And I grew up with him for 23 years. We literally was on ladders, standing on the top rung, lifting signs, 300 pounds in the air, sitting on a peg this big, doing crazy things, dropping stuff on each other, almost killing everybody. But we lived and we helped other people through what they do. That's what you and I do. Cody, we got to go make money. There's no question. We've got a business. This isn't nonprofit.
No.
We have to make cash. Cash flow is not bad.
No.
Making a profit is not bad. Some people get tied up about
do.
that. Yeah, they get twisted in the head.
They do, especially the Christian community.
Oh my goodness, I could preach a sermon on that.
I felt it.
Yeah, at Caruso, the truth was the worst people I dealt with were the Christian bookstores. The best were the secular general market retailers. The general retailers paid all their bills. I would call some Christian bookstores and they would cuss me out. I would call general retailers and they were amazing. And it was just like everything's backwards.
Yeah.
It's just completely backwards. But don't get tied up about that. Money is good. It's not the love of money.
Correct.
Do I have a lot of stuff? Yes, I do. I own a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Tens of millions. It doesn't even matter to me. Why? Because it's not about the money. I'm helping people. I employ hundreds of people. Hundreds. I've got people in different states all over the nation. I love that. I want to go employ the best of the best. So there's a lot of people in the world that get into the business. Let's say we're talking insurance as an example. Their heart may be good, but they don't know how to run it.
Correct.
It's a tough world, and you coach some of those people.
Yeah, it's very tough.
Yeah, it's a tough market, but it's learnable.
Absolutely.
I did it.
Yep.
If somebody like me can do it, anybody can do it. And it's really simple. Put a smile on your face every morning. Reset your mind. Get your heart right. Why are you in this game?
That's right.
Get in there and hustle. make more phone calls than anybody else. You're the CEO. I don't make phone calls. Wrong answer.
Yeah, it's silly. That's
Wrong
crazy.
answer.
That's
Go
crazy.
knock on some doors. Go do whatever it is that you're good at, but hustle. Guys, if you think I live a 9 to 5, you're absolutely wrong. I'm up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I may be in the gym. I may be running. I may be working on Instagram. I may be creating new content. I'm out the door at 8 o'clock. My kids are my priority. I make sure that they're at school. I'm on the phone as soon as I hit them at school. I'm talking my way through the day all the way to my office. I get to my office. I'm working. It's 6 o'clock at night. I have dinner with my wife and my family. By 10 o'clock, they're asleep. I'm not. No. I'm creating more content. I'm online working on my emails. Why? Because I'm on fire.
That's right. Where's that come from?
What?
Because you are, man. You are on fire. You are very driven.
Yeah.
You are. I mean, you're positive. You have a big heart. All those things. But like the fire to keep going when you've accomplished.
Can I be raw and real?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it may upset some people, but what I'm getting ready to say. Jesus. I mean, dead serious. Like, I believe we're here. We're at the end. I don't have time to let other people fail. If I'm out there on the front lines and I'm doing all of my stuff, I hope they see him in me. Yeah. And I hope their lives are changed. I've got pastors on staff. I coach them. They're just like us. They're just CEOs of small congregations. Nothing's more important than getting that nailed down. I don't get out there and do this. I mean, I don't talk this way on the air.
Yeah.
But why? It's not about money. But I need a lot of money. I look at money like this, Cody. Cody, money to me is a brick. Every dollar will build something. I don't pocket all this cash that I make. I go buy more real estate. I hire more people, the right people. I find the right people. Sure. They got to have the right heart, the right passion, the right motivation. I don't need, I joke about this all the time. I don't need anybody else like me. I'll never hire anybody else like Cody and Rusty. That would be a horrible idea. We would be up in smoke. It would be a really bad scenario.
Burn the place down.
Yeah, we really would. I mean, I think I would call us the 0.1 percenters.
Sure.
I was a 1 percenter for the majority of my life because I've always been like this. Even at Caruso, one of the things that Vic let me do was I built businesses within a business, and he just let me go.
Yeah.
And I just went and built it. So I never knew I wasn't an entrepreneur, even though I have been since I was 10. I've always done this. I've tanked more businesses than I have made successful ones. I think that's normal.
Yeah.
A lot of people get into this and then they fail and then they quit. No. You keep failing. You keep failing. You keep failing. Then you succeed. We don't stop.
That's
A
right.
real entrepreneur, our hearts are good. We're out to help other people. We fail, we succeed. Who was it? Beethoven? He was deaf, and he created some of the most magnificent music ever on this planet.
That's a good example.
Oh,
it's crazy.
Whoa, why are you quitting? I just lost my insurance agency. I was just online with a mastermind group 3 nights ago. There was this guy, and he was literally crying almost on camera, and I just lost my company. I hit him pretty hard. I'm like, get up, let's go. This is just one failure. Who cares? Learn from it. Let's go build another business. And I offered him a job, writing a book. I've got a story.
Cool.
I want to go write a book. I can't write a book.
Yeah.
I'm not an author. I never will be. I actually had a science project when I was in high school, and it was, do we really need English? That was basically it. And I went and surveyed everybody all over the state, had hundreds of different things. And I had to come back and publish a dang paper that we did need English. And I had this whole write-up. And I ended up going to state, dang it. And so I had to go tell the story again in front of the entire Arkansas state. And then I went to nationals over something I thought was stupid. But yeah, we need English, we need math. Another little adventure that took me all over the world. So a lot of fun. Yeah.
What a great way to finish this thing, by the way, man, with you just sharing and opening up. Also, too, there's so many nuggets throughout this whole thing. I appreciate you sharing
Absolutely.
and being on the podcast. You're a good dude, man.
I love it. I love you guys. I want to help. So reach out. Let's talk.
If they do, when they do, they scan the QR or they text the number on screen. What will happen?
So we're actually partnered with High Level. Go High Level, depends on how you look at it. That data in your text will show up in my CRM. We actually help people with that as well.
Cool.
And that is actually tied to not only a sales team. I'm a speaker. I'm on stage all the time. So I have people that run different segments of whatever we're talking about. And those people will be talking live with you. We'll see where that goes. You may be talking to me. You may be talking to some of my thought leaders. And we'll get you where you need to go.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast. You're
Thanks,
such
Cody.
a good dude, man. Thank you. Okay. Also, thank you guys for hanging with us. Rusty Dycus with Olde School Marketing. Definitely check him out. Scan the QR or text on screen. Here's a few takeaways. One, he is so committed and driven to success that he knows he needs to move quickly, and he's take a bunch of risk, right? He's definitely one of the more risk-taking individuals I've been around. But he learns so much by moving, and he never quits no matter what. So many insurance agents needed to hear this message today. Also, Olde School Marketing, I am a fan of what they're doing. I continue to learn more about it every single day, and I encourage you to have a conversation with them to see how they can help your agency, reach more people, what you are wanting to do. Thanks for hanging with us and listening to the Power Player Podcast. We will see you on the next one. Adios.